Okay folks, thanks very much for joining us. Today I'm going to be tying up a Beadhead Salmon fly. It's an Irish shrimp fly, it's the silver Wilkinson. And the bead I have on today is a metallic rainbow bead. So it has purple and blue and red and a lot of colours you'd see in the Wilkinson, so hopefully it looks well on it. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is add on our thread. Just do a few wraps down, so you get about halfway, then you can break it off or cut it off, whatever you prefer. For the tag of this fly, I'm going to be using silver oval. I'm going to use quite a thick one, so it's probably a medium. This size of hook would be quite big, but it'll really help with the tail. Okay, and then just run that up to the end, or where the shank basically starts to bend down, and then next even turns back on itself to where you think your tag will finish. And then just wrap on a few turns of your oval. Okay. And again, just neaten up. Just run that back up again. Okay. And then, being an Irish shrimp fly, it's going to have a golden pheasant tail. So this time it's a golden pheasant rump feather, and it's dyed magenta. So it's different from the typical natural red breast feather. But I originally tied up a Calvin with it, and I thought it looked really well, and I thought I'll have to give it a go with the Wilkinson. So here we go. So we'll just tie it on by the tip. Right down to the end there. Okay, and then we're going to train our fibres to point downwards. It's a bit harder on golden pheasant than it is in a hackle, but because it's quite soft, usually train them by hand anyway. In fact, I'm going to cut off the excess here. Okay, and for a fly this size, probably 2 wraps is more than enough. So let's see how we get on. So that's 1. Okay, and that's 2. Probably should have taken the fluff off the feather here, but I do usually keep it on for grip whenever I'm doing like the cock hackles. Okay, so you can see that's quite messy, folks, but I wouldn't be worrying, because what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take it out of the face, blow up the rear end, really get those fibres to splay out. Okay, just make sure they're nice and evenly proportioned. So you have quite a few at the back and at both sides and at the top. And I just wet my fingers down just to hold them down a little bit. Put it back on the face. These fibres pointing forwards, I could probably cut those off. Okay, so this is what I do myself. Some people wouldn't, but I then tie on top of the stalk, because the stalk of the golden pheasant is very weak, and I want to push those fibres right up against that tag to really help splay it. So if this was dry, you'd see, or well, it can splay. There you go, and you're tied on top of the feather or the fibres, not on top of the stalk, so it's a lot more durable as well, and that'll be good for pulsing in the water. Okay, so for the rear body, it's going to be a 2/3, 2/3 and 3/3, with the 3/3 at the rear, 2/3 at the front. I'm going to just tie in some braided holographic silver. because the body's in two parts. I'm just trying to reduce the bulk. So, okay. So you'll notice that I haven't tied it right up against the tag. It's a wee bit out because that first wrap can sometimes go over the tail and it'll lose all that splaying effect. Okay, so next we want to be putting on some super glue, which will make it a very secure hold. I'll make it easier to tie in as well. We'll just run that down to about 2/3 or half, whatever you think yourself. Okay, and then we'll do one full wrap of the braid, and then we'll start to go down. I'll probably say I only get about 3 wraps out of this one. Okay, secure your braid in a couple of turns, and then cut off your excess. I'll keep that for later. So the middle hackle is going to be magenta. So it's a bit large. I always have the middle hackle a bit larger than the front hackle. Break off the tip. Expose a few fibres to create a wee V. Wax my thread. Oop. And then tie in at the V, at the base of the V. Pull the fibres back on themselves. And continue to tie in. And give you a very secure hold. Then we'll just train our fibres to point downwards or inwards. And then for this fly, well, we'll see how it goes. I'd say probably 2 turns would be more than enough. So it's 1, 2. Probably going to do 3, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off one side of the fibres. So it's really only about 2.5. I think 3 might really overdo it a bit. Okay. You want to be able to make sure the fish can see that nice tensiled body. So there's no point having it very overdressed at the same time if you're putting in all that work. Okay, then I'll just cut off the excess. Then there's a few fibres going back, so I'm just going to neaten this up. Okay. And then the front body then, so just tie in your braid or your flat silver, whatever you're using. Bring this back a wee bit here, getting a wee bit fiddly for a fly this size. Okay. And again, I want to have super glue underneath the tinsel to make it really secure. And then we'll probably only get I've only really got 1 and a bit wraps of that, but that's fine. Okay, now then, next we're going to put on a bit of jungle cock. So I have 2 feathers prepared here. Okay, that's probably going to look messy at the start, but we'll just do a few turns just to secure them in. Absolutely, that's the worst part of tying salmon flags. Okay. Okay, that's good to me. So, I think them very secure. Again, I'm going to put on a bit of super glue on the thread here. Just be careful not to hit any of the fibres. Give a real strong hold. Okay, and then any excess left, just cut it off. Now then, the final part's going to be your blue hackle. So again, just cut off the tip, expose a few fibres, and wax your thread. Now you just do a couple of turns, pull back the fibres, a couple of turns again, you double back that stalk. Just going to fix that jungle cock, it's not sitting the best. Okay. And then just double your hackle. So again, just use a blunt side of your scissors to train the hackles to point downwards. Again, finish off with your hands if you want. Okay. We'll probably do similar, probably 2.5 turns. So that's 1 turn. That's 2 turns, and it's getting a bit fiddly now, the side of this hackle. I know it's fiddly, but it's definitely worth it. That should be a deadly wee fly. Okay, and then just the last turn. Okay. You'll see a few fibres pointing back forwards, including the stalks. I'm going to pull everything back, and that will get those few fibres, but it'll also double tie in the stalk as well. Okay, and then we'll just cut off our excess. And then I don't varnish the heads on my bead heads, so just do a drop of, well, I don't do it at the end, so just put in a drop of varnish as I'm tying to get under a whip finish. So put an inch of varnish there. Just make sure you don't hit any of the fibres. Okay, and then a couple of whip finishes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that means your whip finish is being held with varnish underneath, and the bead will protect it if it's hitting any rocks or anything. Okay, and that's your fly, folks. That's your silver Wilkinson variant, basically, with a wee bead head that should look well in the water. And yep, I think, yeah, I'll have to give that one a go as well. Okay, as always, folks, if you like the video, hit the wee like button below. Leave us a comment if you want to ask any questions or anything. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Until next time, all the best. Thank you.